Okay, here is a perfect setup for putting. First thing you want to do is you want to tape one of these alignment sticks to the bottom of your putter as much as you can. It's always, it's extremely valuable to practice with one of these alignment sticks taped to the bottom of your club. Main reason is because you never want this club head to pass the hands. You always want your hands leading the club head through impact. Now, whether it's a putter, an iron, a driver, the hands always need to lead the club head through impact. You never want to have this club head passing the hands, because then you're hitting ground, then ball. Because the hands are the center of a circle, this club head draws the circumference. We never want the club head to pass the hands. We always want the hands leading the club head through impact, and always pulling the club head or the putter through impact. So it's easy to have a perfect setup because you're not moving. Sometimes, the rest of the swing or the putting stroke can be difficult because you're in motion. But a perfect setup is fairly easy to attain because you're not moving and you can pay attention to detail. So let's start with face on. Here's what we need. We need this. Now I've got this Pell's T-line device set up. And this is a fairly straight putt. I've got maybe 8-foot putt here, but this cross section is pointed right at the middle of this golf ball. Just kind of give you an idea of what's going on with the orientation here. So let's start with, we want these from the insides of the two ankles about 12 inches apart. 12, no more than 13 inches apart, but no less than 12. So we want a halfway decent foundation here, a base. We want this ball played off about 2 inches off the inside of my left ankle. So not off the middle of, although you can putt great when the ball's in the middle of your stance, but to catch it, we want to catch this ball when this putter head is right, because it's swinging on an arc around my shoulders. It does come up slightly and then it comes down. We want to catch it at the very bottom of this arc, or if we can, catch it on the slight upward part of this arc, so we just have the least amount of skid on the ball as possible. So we're going to play this ball, say, just underneath this left armpit. If we drop a line straight down, and that's about 2 inches off the inside of my left ankle. So from here, all we're going to do is we have now from here, my left foot is perpendicular to my toe line. My right foot is turned out about 2 to 4 degrees. So it's turned out slightly. The reason being is because we never want our hips and our shoulders open. As we're looking down our line, we have a tendency to open up our body, and we want to kind of fight that. So we want this right foot turned out to drop my right shoulder and my right hip back. Now from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lock out my knees, lock them out, and I'm going to kind of arch my back a little bit down here. I just don't want to tuck my tailbone under. I want to arch my back just a little bit, not a whole lot. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit of arch in your lower back. From here, we're going to lock out the knees. We're going to barely unlock the knees, and from here we're going to push this butt back and get this chest down to face the ground as much as possible. We want to bend over from the waist so we can get these shoulders turning on a plane that's perpendicular to the ground. Now from here, I'm going to take the left hip and bump it about an inch to almost 2 inches. So now we have about 70% of the weight on my left foot. So 70% of the weight starts on your left foot and just stays there throughout the stroke. There's no weight shift in your stroke. We're going to let this hip bump to the left, bump it to the left, and keep it to the left. So there's no weight shift in our stroke. This left hip stays perfectly still as we're just stroking with our arms and our shoulders. Okay, so from now behind down the line, to give you an idea, so now we're going to go, here we go. So we've got left foot perpendicular to your toe line, 12 inches in between your two ankles, your right foot turned out 2 to 4 degrees, lock out our knees. And all I'm going to do is unlock my knees just barely, just a little bit of unlock the knees, and I'm going to push my butt back as far as I can. My weight almost goes to my heels, but it's about 50% toes to heel, 50%, and then this left hip is bumped to the left. Now from here, here's the golf ball. From here, to give you an idea, this chest comes down. We want this ball right underneath your eyes. So if we put this right on the bridge of your nose, this golf ball should be right under your eyes. If anything, you want your eyes a little bit closer to the ball. You want your eyes over the golf ball or maybe an inch outside the golf ball. So you see as that comes straight down from the bridge of my nose, it's about an inch outside this golf ball. The reason being is we never want, that measurement tells you should give you an idea where your hands are in relation to your shoulders. You want your hands right underneath your shoulders, because as your shoulders turn on this plane, your hands then go straight back and straight through. So we're going to unlock our knees, stick this butt back, left hip goes to the left. These eyes are right over the golf ball, or maybe an inch outside the golf ball. These hands come down on the putter, and you can see now my weight is on the left foot, my eyes are right over the ball, or maybe an inch outside the ball, and now that helps my hands go straight back and straight through. Okay, so now let's take a look at the stroke itself. Okay, so we know that we want this ball played a couple inches off the inside of my left ankle. I want my left foot perpendicular, my right foot turned out a little bit. I want my eyes over the golf ball, or slightly an inch, half inch to an inch past outside the golf ball. Then from here, I want you need the hands right off kind of the inside of that left thigh. And this alignment stick helps with that. So you want this alignment stick kind of just barely touching your left side, not way off this left side, but just barely touching. Then from here, what you want to do is, you want to, as you keep that left hip bump to the left, you want this to be, your hands to work just with no wrist hinge. You just want this to be an arms and shoulder movement. So your arms are going to pull this putter back, and when the putter goes back, remember the putter face doesn't rotate open. It stays square or slightly closed. But let's say this is a 8-foot putt. We're only going to take this back about 5 inches, because the rule is it's about 7-inch backstroke for a 10-foot putt. So we're going to only take this back about 5 inches. We're going to feel like we close this putter face a little bit, and then on the way through, you have to make sure that this right hand doesn't push. So we don't want that right hand pushing. We want to keep this stick off the left side as you come through. So as you come through, you want to pull with your hands and keep the stick off the left side. So you want to, as you take your bill for about an 8-foot putt, you want to have a little 5-inch backstroke, and then pull with the hands and keep that stick off the left side. What that does is, it makes sure that you're not adding power with your right hand. We just want to drag this putter head through impact. So we go from behind down the line. We're going to go lock out the knees, unlock the knees, stick this butt back, left hip bumps to the left slightly. This chest comes down, so these eyes are over the golf ball, or maybe 1 inch outside the golf ball. So there's my setup from behind down the line. And then from face on, that's it. Ball's just kind of 2 inches inside my left ankle. This alignment stick is off my left side. My hands come down. I'm going to push this butt back, and then left hip bumps to the left. And I'm just going to take for this 8-foot putt, I'm going to take it back about 5 inches, and I'm going to pull the hands through. So I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to feel it close a little bit, and I'm going to pull the hands through, and then the hands lead the putter. I never want to push with the hands. I want to feel this. You almost want to feel this bend back in your right wrist. That right wrist stays bent back as your hands are moving forward. You don't want to have the hands come forward and push. A good drill for this is this stick right off this left side, and you can putt just with your right hand, kind of like what we do with pitch shots. So we can, just with our right hand, we get this right hand underneath, this right thumb to the right side of this putter, and then we just kind of take it back just about 5 inches. We can keep this putter face square or slightly closed, and then as you come through, you're going to feel that right wrist stay bent back, and that stick stay off your left side. You don't want to be pushing with this right hand. Great drill for just your right wrist. You're going to train your right wrist as it comes through to stay bent back, to keep that stick off your left side. Then the left hand can come in, keeps it slightly closed on the backstroke, and then this right wrist stays bent back, which keeps your hands ahead of the ball, ahead of the putter head through impact. So perfect setup, a start of the fundamentals for a perfect stroke. I'll put a link in the description for the next stage of how to build the perfect stroke, but those are the fundamentals for a perfect setup.